Introduction to EMC. So from here, you can see that EMC is actually a combination of EMI, which is the emission, product emission, plus EMS, which is product immunity. Let's take a look on this diagram in order to understand better. For example, this is your newly made EUT. Okay, so under the EMI, we need to ensure that the unintended emission does not so-called exceed the limit line. So there are actually two forms. For example, in this diagram here, you can see that this EUT actually radiate out a EM wave through the medium air. So this is what we know as radiate EMI. While on the other hand, you can see from here, there is another term which is called a conductor EMI. For example, this EUT require a power to power up. So basically, this DUT actually release the disturbance to the power source. So let's just imagine these two laptops share the same power source, and the noise that actually emit out from this DUT, they can be so-called coupling from the power source, reach the other laptop power source, and this can become an issue also. Let's now focus on the immunity. For example, when you actually newly meet this laptop, you need to ensure that it is robust. For example, let's say there is an interference. Okay, so let's say this is through the air. So this is what we know as radiate EMS. Let's say your DUT is not able to function anymore or degrade, then probably you will not be able to pass the EMC test. So in short, when you actually meet your DUT, you need to ensure the emission does not so-called exceed the limit line, while you also need to ensure that it is robust, okay, in order to work in the intent environment. You definitely bound to have some form of interference. Hence, this is actually on the immunity. So I have explained on the radiate EMS. Conductor EMS, for example, the noise source that I mentioned earlier on, they actually couple through the power source, and this can become a source to create disturbance to downgrade the function of your laptop. If you want to know more, see the playlist under the description.